Namaste brilliance. I hope you and your family is safe at home, and I hope all of you are using your time wisely. So I welcome you back to our science class. In last class we are doing chapter synthetic fiber and plastic. Okay, so this is part 3 of our video lecture. In this lecture we will discuss about main plastic, okay, types of plastic, what are uses of plastic, properties of plastic, and its effect on environment. Okay, so these topics we are going to study today. Before going to our main topic, let us discuss what we have done in last two lectures. Okay, in our first lecture we have studied about what is synthetic fiber. Okay, the fiber which are made by men in laboratory is known as synthetic fiber. Now synthetic fiber made from polymers. Polymers, many small molecules join together to form a large chain of molecule. It is referred as polymer. After that we will discuss about the classification of polymers. Okay, classification of polymer on the basis of monomer. It is divided into homopolymer, copolymer. On the basis of molecular forces, it is of 4 types: elastomer, fiber, thermosetting, thermoplastic. Next one, on the basis of occurrence. On the basis of occurrence, it is of 2 types: natural polymer and copolymer. Okay, students. So after that, we will discuss about advantages and disadvantages of synthetic fiber. As we know that there are some advantages of polymer, which are advantages of synthetic fiber, which remain fixed among the example which we have studied. Okay. So what are those advantages? They are wrinkle resistance. They do not have any effects. They are poor conductor of electricity and poor conductor of heat. They do not have any effects of chemicals. They do not have any. They are resistance to moth. Okay, they are very elastic in nature and they absorb less amount of water. So these are some of the properties which is there among all the synthetic fiber which we have discussed in our last lecture. Okay, so after that there are some disadvantages of synthetic fiber is also there. Now what are those disadvantages? The first is that they do not absorb sweat, they do not absorb water, they do not allow air to pass through them. So next is they catch fire very immediately, they are flammable in nature, and also they get damaged by the fire. They are non-biodegradable in nature. So these are some of the disadvantages of synthetic fiber which we have discussed in part 1. In part 2 of our lecture, we have studied about some types of synthetic fiber. Now what are those types? Specifically we study about rayon. Rayon is also known as artificial silk because it resembles all the property as compared to the silk. Now rayon absorbs some amount of water. Okay, rayon is lustrous. Rayon loses its strength whenever it's wet. Now the uses of rayon is used to make fabric like sari. Rayon is also used in surgical instrument or surgical equipments like making bandages. Rayon. After that we have studied about nylon. So, nylon is our first fully synthetic fiber. Okay, it is developed in 1935 and nylon is made by Carothers brothers. Okay, nylon is very strong. It is very elastic. It does not lose its strength even though after repeated use. Okay, so these are some of the advantages or properties of the nylon. After that we have studied about the nylon is used in toothbrush pistol. Nylon is used to make fishing nets. It is also used to make rackets for badminton or tennis. After that we have studied about polyester. Okay, so polyester is that fiber or synthetic fiber which is very elastic in nature. It do not absorb water at all. Okay, it is soft to touch. So these are some of the properties of polyester which we have studied. An example of polyester: PET, polyethylene terephthalate. It is used to make water bottles. Okay, now other example of this polyester is it is used to make clothes, like it is mixed with cotton and wool to make the other types of fabric. After that we studied about acrylic synthetic material fiber. Now acrylic is resemble the property as compared to the wool. How it is warm to touch, it is soft, it is lustrous, okay, and it is easily washable. And so what happen wherever the wool is used, we can use acrylic fiber. Acrylic is used to make the sweaters, acrylic is used to make the blankets, acrylic is used to make the socks, acrylic is also used to make the carpets. Okay, and after that we studied about the spandex. Okay, now spandex is developed in 1965. It is also known as lycra. Spandex is highly elastic. That means its shape can be changed up to highly extent. It can, after that it can regain its shape. Now after that we studied about that spandex is used in making the swimming costume, in making the caps, jacket, athletic wears. Okay, so today students we are going to study about the plastic. Now plastic, so students, plastic is also a synthetic material, okay, and as similarly like synthetic fiber are made from the polymers, plastic is also made from the polymers. Plastic is made from polymers, it is synthetic material. Now what is this? Those material whose shape can be changed on heating. So water plastic, those submaterial, those substances whose shape can be changed or remolded or molded into a particular shape on heating. Those material, those substances whose shape can be changed by heating. Okay, so these substances are known as plastic. Okay, now this property is known as plasticity. So remember students, one more term that is referred as plasticity. Okay, so what is plasticity? Plasticity is a property. It is a property of a material so that its shape can be changed. Understand students? So what is plastic? Those material which can change its shape on heating. Those materials are known as a plastic. Now the property by which some substance can change its shape by heating or on reheating, those material are, this property is referred as plasticity property. Okay, so some example of plastic is PVC. Examples of plastic are PVC, polythene, bakelite, melamine. Okay, so these are some examples of plastic. Okay, now plastic is of two types. Okay, plastic is of two types. What are those types? First type is known as thermoplastic. Thermoplastic, and second one is known as thermosetting plastic. Thermosetting plastic and thermoplastic. Okay, students. So these are the two types of plastic. Types of plastic. So plastic is divided into two types. What are those types, students? One is thermoplastic, another one is thermosetting plastic. So the meaning thermo means heat. Okay, students. So those plastics whose shape can be changed on heating and they become hard on cooling, this type of plastic is known as thermoplastic. Okay, so or you can say those plastic whose shape can be rechanged or remolded on reheating are known as thermoplastic. So those plastic whose shape can be changed on reheating. Understand, student? Today, one more time I will explain this point. So, what is thermoplastic? Thermoplastic is that plastic which becomes soft on heating and on cooling it becomes hard. Okay. So, or in another way, what you can say, thermoplastic is that type of plastic whose shape can be rechanged or changed again and again on reheating. Reheating means when once heating is done, again we cool it, and again if we heat again, then what will happen? Its shape can be rechanged again and after that at that time. Okay, so this type of plastic is known as thermoplastic. Okay, now what about thermostatic plastic? So those plastic whose shape can't be changed on reheating. Understand? So now see the difference. There is very slightly difference is there. What is thermostatic plastic? Thermostatic plastic. See the term. Thermo means heat. Static means set. Set होना. Okay. Okay, students. So see here. Those plastic whose shape can't be changed on reheating. What it means that when we first time when we heat the thermostatic plastic, so what happen? It becomes soft, and after that you can mold the shape. After that you can mold or change the shape or give the shape whatever you desire. Okay, and on cooling it becomes hard again. But when you again try to heat thermostatic plastic, then what happen? Its shape can't be changed after that. Okay, so this type of plastic is known as thermostatic plastic, that once it is set, its shape can't be reset or can't be changed. Okay, so some example of the thermoplastic are PVC and polythene. PVC and polythene are the examples of the thermoplastic, while the examples of the thermostatic plastic is melamine and bakelite, which is given above. Okay, these are the plastics which is thermostatic plastic. Okay, students. Now after that we will study about the difference between the thermoplastic and thermostatic plastic. Thermoplastic, and this side we are having thermostatic plastic. Okay, students. I hope you are able to understand the difference between both of them. Okay, I try to make it as simple as possible for you. Okay, now first one is thermoplastic. Thermoplastic become soft on reheating. It becomes soft on reheating. In this one, it can't be soft. It cannot become soft on reheating. Okay. Now second point, their shape can be changed multiple times or many times. Okay, and on this side their shape can't be changed. Shape can't be changed multiple times. That means only one time we can change the shape, other than that we can't change. Okay, now third point is they are less brittle. Brittle means whenever you break or whenever you apply force on any material, it breaks into pieces. So what happens? Thermoplastic is less brittle in nature, while the thermostatic plastic, it is more brittle. It is more brittle in nature. That means it simply breaks down into small pieces, while this plastic does not break down simply as compared to thermostatic plastic. Okay. Now next one, they have linear chain, and they have cross link. If you remember my first lecture, in that I told you what is linear chain polymer and what is cross-linked polymer. Okay, students. So see it here again. Now, if the polymers are arranged in a simple chain, like in this way, this type of chain is known as linear chain. So in this way on heating, you can change the shape again and again. But what happens in the thermostatic plastic? They have branch. Okay, they have cross link between them. So what happens once they get heated? So what happens? Their bond will become much stronger. So what happens on reheating? Their shape can't be changed again. Okay, students. Now last one is an example of both of them. Now the examples of thermoplastic is I have already mentioned here, PVC and polythene, and the example of thermostatic plastic is melamine and bakelite. Okay, so these are the types of the plastic. Is it clear to students? Now we are going to study about the properties and uses of plastic, like we have done when we are doing the synthetic fiber, and as I have told you the types of synthetic fiber, and as we discussed one by one each and every fiber, we have also studied their properties and uses respectively, and similarly here also we are going to do the properties and uses of the plastic. Okay, students. So as I will explain the properties of the plastic, on the behalf of that I will also try to explain you the uses of plastic. Okay, so see it very carefully. Now first topic after that is properties of plastic. Okay, so first properties, first I will write down the properties and I will explain you. On the behalf of that I will try to explain you the use of plastic also later on after this. Okay, so first property is it is light in weight. Is it clear, students? It is very much lighter in weight. Second property, it is inexpensive. It is not too much costly, it is cheaper, it is inexpensive. Third property, it is insoluble in water. Next property, it is resistant to corrosion and bacteria. Next property, it is poor conductor or insulator. Okay, basically I will write specifically study about thermal conductivity and last one electrical conductivity. Okay, students, so try to see all this property again one by one. So now the first property is very light in weight. Okay, what it means that it is not too much heavier. Suppose right here I am having a chair made up of plastic. It is very lightweight as compared to a chair made from the metal. Okay, like iron, aluminium or any other. Okay, so it is very light in weight, you can lift it very easily. Second one, it is very inexpensive. That means you can purchase it easily. It is very cost effective. Okay, or cost friendly. Next one is it is insoluble in water. That means it does not dissolve into water. Understand everyone? Suppose like if you put the sugar or salt and you pour the water in it, so what happens? They dissolve or they are soluble in water, but the plastic does not dissolve into does not become soluble in water. Next thing, it is resistance to corrosion. Corrosion means like suppose when you use a device for a long period of time, then what happens? It gets damaged by the air, water or any other. In class 7 we studied about rusting of iron. Now what is rusting of iron? When the iron gets damaged by the action of air, water So that's why that is known as corrosion. Similarly, what I am trying to say here, that plastic is corrosion resistance. That means it does not get any damage by the air, water, because it does not react with the air and water. Next thing, it is resistant to bacteria. Resistant to bacteria means the bacteria cannot degrade it, and hence it is non-biodegradable. Biodegradable in nature. Okay, next come to the thermal conductivity and electrical conductivity. Thermal conductivity means the property by which the substance or material allow anything to pass through it. So in thermal property, thermal means heat. Thermal means heat. So heat conductivity. What I am trying to say, that these plastic are poor conductor of heat. What it means that they does not allow the heat to pass through them, so they are poor conductor of heat. Similarly, electrical conductivity means that those material either they allow the electricity to pass through them or not. So plastic is also a poor conductor of electricity. Okay, so in this way these are some of the properties of plastic. Okay students, now on the behalf of that we will try to learn the uses of plastic. Okay, so first we have studied about that plastic is light in weight. Okay, now light in weight, as we know that nowadays what happen if any spaceship is going. So whenever the payload any spaceship is taking, it is very important that the weight of each and every material should be less, because at the time if you carry the heavy payloads then you require more fuel. Okay, so what happens, due to its light in weight, plastic is used in making the parts of spaceship. Okay, now it is inexpensive, that's why it is used to make parts of aeroplane, so that we can decrease the price of it, and it is also used in the parts of automobiles. Automobiles like car, okay, car, bus. If you see the interior of a car, like all of you might have a car. So if you look at dashboard, usually the dashboard of a car is made up of plastic. Okay, so depending upon the cost of the car, so plastic can be varying. Okay, if the car pricing is very less, then they use cheap kind of plastic. If the car is very good, then they use better kind of plastic. Okay, so it is used in the manufacturing of automobiles. Now they are insoluble in water. So what due to the insoluble in water, they are used to make the buckets. They are sometimes also used to make the glasses in which we can drink the water. Next, they are resistant to corrosion. Okay, and they are resistant to bacteria. So due to this way, they are used in making many household appliances. That means most of the electrical appliances you see in your home, they are made up of plastic. Okay, and household appliances, you can say, they are nowadays also used to make the furniture like chair, dining table, etc. Okay, now fifth use is their thermal conductivity. They are poor conductor of heat. Okay, so nowadays you might have seen a mother cooking in the cooking utensil. The handle of the cooking utensil is made up of plastic, and that handle is made up of plastic named Bakelite. Okay, Bakelite is an insulator. It does not allow heat electricity to pass through them, and that's why your mother can cook easily without getting her hands or her body damaged. Okay, so they are used to make cooking utensils handle specifically. Okay, due to its thermal conductivity. Okay, now next one electrical conductivity. So plastic are generally insulator. Plastic does not allow electricity to pass through them. Okay, they are poor conductor of electricity also. So that's why the plastic is also used in making a coating on wires, and it is also used to make the electrical switches. Because it is insulator, so that we don't get the electric shock. The question can come in this way, that why the handles of the cooking utensils are made up of plastic, so that our hand does not get damaged. Why the electrical wire have plastic coating? Why the electrical switches are made up of plastic? So that when we are dealing with electricity, we do not get electric shock. Okay, so these are some uses of plastic. Other than this, many of the uses of plastic is also there. Like we have studied about an example of plastic, melamine. Nowadays, melamine is used to make the fireproof clothes. Okay, or fireproof materials. Okay. Now, after discussing the properties and uses of the plastic, we go to the next topic, and our next topic is the harmful effects of plastic. Effects of plastic, or you can say harmful effect of plastic on the environment. Okay students, I hope you are able to understand all these points. If you don't understand anything, you can ask. Okay, so here next topic is harmful effects of plastic. The effects of plastic on environment. Okay, so there are mainly three which I will discuss with you here. Now, what are those effects? Okay, so first is when plastic is buried in the soil. Okay, so what happen? Plastic does not what happen whenever the plastic buried in the soil? Okay, so what happen? Plastic does not allow water to pass through it. It prevents the seepage of water. So what happen in that way? The water table keep on decreasing. So it does not allow recharging of water table. Okay, does not allow recharging water table. Okay students, so what I say again, I repeat again, the plastic when it buried inside the soil, it does not allow the seepage of water, it prevents the seepage of water. So what happens? The water table cannot be recharged. So what will happen in that particular area? The water level will go down. Okay, second one, plastic when it is mixed in the water body, so what happens? It blocks the water. So whenever plastic enter into the aquatic body or water bodies, so what will happen? It blocks the passage of the water. It's stuck there, it does not allow the water to go easily, and also affects aquatic organisms. Nowadays, you might have seen or hear in the newspaper that when anyone throw any kind of plastic waste into the water body or into a sea or ocean, so what happens? Some aquatic organisms like the shark or the whale, they ingest all those material. So what happen? After some time they die. Okay, so you might have seen the recent past also that some whale comes nearby the seashore and she die over there. And when the scientists have post-mortem it, then what happened? They found many tons of plastic from their stomach. Okay, now next harmful effect of plastic. Plastic can cause air pollution. Whenever the plastic burn, it produces many harmful smoke, many harmful gases. Okay, so those gases produce harmful gases and they cause air pollution. And whenever we inhale those harmful gases, so what will happen at that time? we suffer from many diseases like lung cancer, asthma. Okay, students. So these are the harmful effects of the plastic. Okay. Now, what can we do? How we can reduce the harmful effects of plastic? Okay. Now, we can do 3 R's of waste management. Okay. Now, what are those? Reduce. Second student, I know you know that. Reduce. Second one, reuse. Third one, recycle. So, if we want to reduce the harmful effects of plastic, we can follow 3 R's of waste management. What are that? Reduce, reuse and recycle. Now reduce, we should reduce the amount of plastic on our planet. As you know, our government is taking the preventive measure that the shopkeeper does not sell the polythene bags. Why? So that we can reduce the amount of plastic. Nowadays, as you've been told, whenever you go on for a shopping, you should take the cloth bag along with you instead of taking the polythene bag from the shopkeeper. Second one, reuse. Whenever in your house, you might have seen that whenever you use the shampoo bottle, it is made up of plastic. Whenever you bring any grocery comes in some kind of plastic bottle. So after that thing is finished, you should reuse that plastic substance again. And last one, recycle. That means some type of plastic can be recycled. Okay, scientists have developed some type of plastic which can be recycled, that are environment friendly, and that type of plastic is known as bioplastic. Okay, so we should recycle the plastic. That means, like I told you, that thermoplastic is that plastic whose shape can be changed. So what I'm trying to say here, so we should use thermoplastic, and whenever they get damaged, we should give it to the rat picker, we should give it to kabadi wala, so that plastic can be recycled again. Okay, now there are mainly plastic is mainly non-biodegradable in nature. Okay, to save our environment, scientists come up with new type of plastic, and that type of plastic is eco-friendly, and that is known as bioplastic. Now, what is bioplastic? Bioplastic is that plastic which is developed from the plant material or plant fiber, that is known as cellulose. Okay. Now, what is the advantage of this type of plastic? This type of plastic is biodegradable in nature. That means by the action of microorganisms, by the action of bacteria, this plastic can be decomposed easily. It does not cause any damage. Usually, plastic take normally 1,000, 10,000s of years to get to decompose into the soil, and that's why they cause pollution. So bioplastic can be a good option. So students, this finishes your chapter. I have covered each and every topic in detail. Okay, I have also covered some points which are not mentioned in your book. Okay, so you can ask it again if you are not able to understand any point or any topic you are not able to understand. You can ask again. Okay, so I have done my best to explain you each and every topic in detail. Okay, so students, I hope you will be safe at home. You utilize your time wisely, and namaste.